Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having an excellent day. Somebody in one of my sessions asked a question about, how could they be a better friend? And I thought that was a good point to talk about because a lot of people have ideas of what it means to be a friend or what they want out of a friend. And the conversation between me and this person got very deep because it went more than just a casual acquaintance. In other talks, I've said being able to distinguish and understand who, acquaintances are, people in your life, friends, close friends, best friends. The thing about being a friend is, and this is the way I explained it, and this is my opinion, and there's a lot of things that mix into it. A friend is somebody who kind of plays with a version of the golden rule. It's somebody who wants the best for you and who's willing to find out what it is that you want to help you get it, and also be willing to explain to you if they think there may be a problem with what you want, how it may hurt you or be dangerous. Complex. Wait a minute, back up. So, they play with the golden rule before and they said, oh, well, do unto others, as you would have them do unto you. I've heard it that way once. That's a problem because if you're really into whips and chains, you don't want to go around beating people with whips and chains. They may not be into that. So the idea then is, doing to others is they would wish you do, it gets more complicated because then it's like, well, that person wants to be whipped. No, I won't do it. So, it keeps getting more complicated. There is an in-between. There's a middle path of actually talking to someone, and as you build trust with this person, you find out what their hopes and dreams and goals are. Then you figure out, is there something I can do to help you? And also realizing that many times there may not be nothing that you can directly do. Maybe you're just the sounding board. Many people have the resources to do the things that they really want to do or accomplish what they really want to accomplish within themselves. And as a friend, it's your job just to be the sounding board to let them talk and figure out what it is they want. And then they pick up speed and do it on their own. Being a friend does not mean forcing your ideas and opinions down them. It doesn't mean changing them into what you want them to be. It also doesn't mean morphing yourself into something that's different, thinking that you'll match what they are. It's perfectly acceptable and possible to be friends with somebody who has vastly different opinions about things than you. And this is where this acceptance comes in, and also realizing that there are people like that. In other words, taking the time to ask someone, what do you think? What do you feel? What do you want? This is very important in so many of our relationships. I have these with people all through the week where they're having trouble as a couple, or they're having trouble with their family. And when I ask them what the other person wants, they just go blank. And I'm like, you've never had this conversation? And they're like, no. And then when I ask, well, have you had a conversation where they've asked you what you want? No. Have you ever tried to tell them what you want? Well, I'll tell them what I want. Oh, great. So you tell them what you want. Are you honest? No. Because again, most people are afraid to be that honest to say what they really, really want. They're hoping the other person will guess and read minds, which is kind of unfair because then that means you should be guessing and reading minds. And if y'all are all guessing, I'm guessing y'all are all fools because you're fooling yourself. A lot of times, as well as you think you know people, you don't really know everything. And so you have to be careful there. Finding out what the other person wants too is a way that you both can have discussions and realizing that these things change. That's a good thing. Someone today who wants to go off to be, an underwater basket weaver, figures out I don't even like water. So then they realize they change. You go, whole new career, want to do something different. That's okay. The point of the journey is to figure out where you're going, what you're doing, and who you are. And realizing that as you do this, you start to see more and more of what you think you like. You try it, you enjoy it. The pain in life comes when you shut down that whole process, when you quit allowing yourself to change and grow. Because you're either growing or decaying. You're either living, what's the opposite? You're not living anymore, going downhill. So with that in mind, having a friend is like having someone that you can talk to and someone that you listen to. We're back to the old saying, 2 ears, 1 mouth. You should be listening twice as much as you're talking. And you should be listening, not just hearing. There is a difference. Listening means that you're taking in what they said and you're holding back your own opinions. You're holding back your own, urge to talk. You're holding back your questions and your quips and everything else to really, truly listen to what that person is saying. And that's reflective listening. And it is an art. It's an art well worth learning and practicing. Because many times the problems in relationships come from misunderstanding, and you have much less of a misunderstanding if you're able to reflectively listen to people and ask the questions that let you actually get in and figure out what it is they are truly saying, and feeding it back to make sure you understood it right. Don't assume. And then as you do that, then also realizing and thinking through, are they doing the same for me? And I'm not saying dump a friend who doesn't. I'm saying talk to them and go, I do this. Does this help us become better friends? Can you do this? Because if you can do that, the person may be perfectly willing to learn and grow with you, and the friendship will learn and grow and become stronger. Keep your ears open. Listen to what's being said. Ask questions. You should be asking more questions than you're telling or giving advice. Hopefully your advice that you give is so profound that you only need to give a little bit, which means you need to do a whole lot of listening to find out exactly what advice they want. This world is not one fixes all. You might have the answer to someone's problem, but first you got to really find out what the problem is. Someone may come to you and go, yeah, I'm having problems with, my whatever, pick something. My boyfriend's not listening to me. There's a joke in here, because then you go, huh? Did you say something? Sorry, had to do that. Jump over a second though and go, okay, they're not listening to you. Can you give me an example of what's going on? What was happening? And start listening to the whole story for them. And then go, okay, so, all right. Have you talked to your girlfriend or your boyfriend about this problem? Well, no. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they think they're doing the right thing or the thing that you want them to do. Now, maybe they don't care. In that case, you need to go, do I need to keep them? Maybe I need to find someone new. The only way to do that is to ask questions, reflect. Ask questions, reflect of yourself and of others constantly. Seeking more information, observing what's going on, clarifying, asking more. So being a good friend means being a good sounding board. It also means being able to hold your tongue and listen. See, true friends listen. And then when they're asked to give advice, they think carefully about the advice they're giving. And then it's a stronger friendship. Because sometimes people may not want your advice. And you know what? If they don't want it, there's no point in giving it to them. Choking your advice down other people is only going to make them upset and will make them angry and mad, and they won't listen. Save your energy trying to give your advice to people who don't want it. You're going to be frustrated. You got better things in life to do. So, you want to be a better friend? Learn to listen better. Okay? Hope y'all have an excellent day. I will talk to you later. I hope that helps the person who asked me about that and wraps it back up for them. Okay? You take care. Namaste.